I want to have a conversation with you. It's pretty early on to have a conversation with a person you barely know or that's not existent. But it's easy way to break it down is not really ready for this, man. You know, I've been talking a lot, making a lot of so-called content and videos, but it's always been about me. So without trying to, you know, overthink it, a couple things I want to lay out for the individuals that get to watch this. You know, I want you to go back to this video and just, you know, you get to watch it and observe if you're feeling any type of emotion that I invoke during, I guess, when I'm creating something or music wise. I honestly don't really know how to start out saying this without thinking it's corny. I think it's just how my mindset is right now. But I hope it works in the long run to the point where when they're looking at these videos, it's more than just a little benchmark, a catalog of all my old videos. Try to stay focused. I started pretty late doing this, you know. I was very self-conscious about making this because I thought it was always corny when you see somebody in public recording or talking to a phone. So I thought I could never dive into that type of thing. So the main thing I want to really talk about is why are you here, you know? Are you just watching it just to watch, you got bored, or somebody suggested it to you, or do you truly understand what I'm trying to connect with what I'm saying? I want to lay out some of the simple things you should be doing, well, you could be doing to make you, you know, make yourself feel a little bit better. Not words of affirmation, but like the simple things like, did you eat? Did you wash? You know, you look good, you smell good, stuff like that. I feel like it resets your brain to, you know, start to feel more proud about yourself. But as I'm saying that, I feel like it's more than a feeling. It's a fact that you control the outcome of how you feel. Your feelings are just a reaction of otherworldly things. You know, that's why I say you're more than your emotions and thoughts. You react to everything that you create or make. So do others. It's vice versa. You cannot control anything that you do not hold. Not everything is in your control. Remember that. Also, it's imperative that you understand you are more than what anybody else tells you. Not even on a positive note. I'm not trying to motivate you. I want to tell you how simple it is. Because I always thought I'm just going to be stuck in this one stationary area, basically a plateau of me never learning or gaining anything. But it's more than that. So as I build this cult-like fan base, as I build this family, it will be way more. So I wouldn't count it as a blessing, but you get to see it early on. I know a lot of people say, oh, come follow me, come look at me before I blow up. And then they're not doing anything of importance or anything that piques your interest. So with that in mind, shall be doing more than just videos. I shall try to interpret what you're feeling. I try to cooperate, you know, incorporate that into my videos. It's more than me just yapping and talking. It's going to be way more than that. So it's more than just you subscribing or hitting a like button, you know. I would like to invoke an emotion that's more positive than anything. I want to interpret many things, invoke different emotions, more than just enjoyment, you know. Sometimes I want to debate or feel anger or, you know, different emotions. I don't know yet fully, but the thoughts will run rampant, I guess. A simple thing, though, very thought out. it's more than anything. So this video won't be stretched that long because I don't have that much words to say to you. But I really want you to understand that during these couple years, you shall see me evolve into a person that nobody has ever seen before. Not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. I shall not impact my, I guess, physical attributes or any way to, I guess, fit the, social cues to me be able to get in places. But after I do that, I shall change myself into the way I see myself. I see myself as not as a higher being or only a human, but a person that has many more things to give to the world. Might be hard to say, might be hard to do. Looking back on most of the videos, I can see myself really picking and choosing what I want to say. But the only reason I made this because I tend to see people, they don't understand the true meaning of value to a person. They might choose things over you, but that's okay, I guess. People will choose things or materialistic values or things just that don't hold anything to your light, your candle. But that is okay. It's hard to understand that concept, but I see it as that way. I truly hope you understand that I'm trying to change for the better, not only because I feel like it's the right thing to do, but I feel myself evolving to the way where I can experience things that other people not allowed to say or scared to say. It's not just being the voice of the voiceless, because it gets kind of corny, Like, I see people make videos and it feel like, what is it? It has like no emotion. It's just listing off facts. So I feel, let's very contribute. It gets like that. You start concerning yourself for the audio, how the camera look, how do I look, how long the video is. It start getting like that. But over time, that will get scratched out. Like, I'm not gonna be worrying about that. I'm just gonna be worrying about if it's of value. Does it have value? Does it matter? But I don't want to be placed into a category to the point where I'm restricted to evolve, Because right now I see myself getting put in the category, oh, he does this, that, and the third, he's spiritual commentary, he's motivational. No, that's just side things. So as I say that, I gotta understand that the way I'm talking to you right now, it's not gonna be the same way I talk to others, or when I get older I'm trying to change the way that I invoke passion or the way that I talk to people, because I see it as I'm being inconsiderate, because not only because I'm rude in some fashions, but it's to the point where I feel like I'm not articulating myself in a great way. You can be passionate about something, but it's just the way you look or the way you sound, it's not going to get that much attention. That's why people try to change their physical appearance to get more attention, and I do that some way. I don't want to be a carbon copy of anybody. I want to be different, Everybody says that. So there's no such thing as average, because nobody wants to be average. But I have the average mind. I have the average looks. I have the average body, below average, if that. But it will be way more. So how do you feel about what I'm talking about, I'm shaking right now because I've never done a video like this. It's always been me far away from the camera because I see all my imperfections and stuff like that. But don't console yourself on that, because it changes nothing. But I think once I start creating more than just videos and I start creating art, I start making music, I can connect to a broader audience all around the world. Because right now I am limited to what I know in my language. That's why I want to learn multiple languages, so I can connect. But how do I conquer? I don't know. So I'll talk to you.